Sup peeps, there you are. My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay and Vinted, and I missed a day. I missed a day yesterday. I feel terrible about it just because I was in such a good roll. We're up in day 70 something, and finally it happened. I just could not cram in the time or the energy to get one of these done, which seems ridiculous because it's just, a few minutes of me talking to the camera. But still, that's the way it goes. The last 2 days, it's been like 100 plus books to get sorted out. Plus, I have been doing some other bits and pieces of work just until cash flow gets a bit more consistent from selling the books online again, which eats up half a day. So I'm really crammed for time in the mornings, getting everything picked and packed and ready to go out before I then have to go and do some other things for a few hours. Then back in the evening and doing my listing at that point. So it's working a day and a half just until this gets back ticking up and over. So let's say the last couple of days it's been 100 plus books and some pretty nice sales in amongst it. Nick, cheers again. Some of the stuff I showed you the other day, Nick came straight in and bought it, which is fantastic. Thank you. Give other people a chance. No, don't, just keep buying it. That's fine. Today when I was out and about, I did pop in and went somewhere else and did another wee pickup. I think it was about 160 books. So I've got a handful of them which are, I think, eBay worthy. They're nearly all listed already. I just battered through it and did them when I got in earlier on. There's one that I haven't listed and I probably won't, but it's a lovely book and it's just a bit interesting, so I wanted to show that to you as well. The eBay stuff I got, it's nothing spectacular. It's books that are going to be kind of £10 plus, in about 10 to 20 quid, in about that bracket. So what's that? $20 to $40 Australian, 15 to 25, 30 American. I don't know. It's somewhere about that. So they're not spectacular, but it's a nice wee mix of some different things. So I thought I'll share them with you this evening because I don't have any of the orders to show you because I had to get them all packed up and sent out earlier on. And then let's say one book which it's a bit different. I was quite excited when I found it. I thought it might have been worth a wee bit of something, although it's a fairly common title, so typically it isn't. But still, it's a wee bit of history and it's old. So I'll show you that one at the end of it all. But let's go through what we've picked up, and we're sticking on eBay. A lot of good stuff for Vinted as well, goes without saying, but I'm not going to sit and show you 150 like Nora Robert books. You know what I'm saying? Let's just have a look at these. First thing I found was a wee bundle of guitar tab books. So we've got likes of some Total Guitar books. There we go. Well, they're magazines really, weren't they? Wise Publications, and they all come with the CDs. It looks like the kind of thing somebody's bought and they never ever used. But it's some nice additions. I mean, we've got Nick Drake. You heard of Nick Drake? If you haven't, look him up. He didn't last long, unfortunately. But, I mean, Nick Drake, the Beatles, Clapton, Dire Straits, Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel, Sting, Paul Weller. It's a good little mix. And all of these are worth anything from like kind of £8 up to about £20. I've listed them all a wee bit lower because I really just want to get them to sell. So yeah, that was the first of that bundle that we're talking about. What else did we get from the Total Guitar one? Maybe that was the only Total Guitar one, but we've got some other different bits and pieces. Guitar Play Along, Lennon and McCartney. There you go. Again, it comes with a CD and it's really good, proper music rather than just being like tablature. So that's nice. Clapton Guitar Play Along, so it's from the same series. I think this is volume 24, the other one was 25. So same again, comes with a CD. They're all really, really good, clean condition. I think these are all American. It's Hal Leonard. Yeah, they all look to be American. So, and they're just in such good nick. Excellent condition. Yeah, so we've got a Clapton one. We've got Another Hal Leonard's guitar, Play Along. Yeah, from the same series. We've got the Stones, Who, Eagles, Beatles, Kansas, Clapton, Bob Seger, more Beatles. You get the idea. So I pick up a lot of music books when I see them, because some of them sell quite well and are worth a couple of quid. This is from a different series, although it's still internet music. Play guitar with the 90s. Yeah, so there we go, lots of 90s music. Some of them, they're really not worth anything, but there's quite a few that they kind of hold their value. So I mean, this sold for $14.95 originally. It's not going to be far away from that now. I mean, obviously condition counts, and these are in absolutely cracking condition, which definitely helps. So they kind of hold their value. So they've got a cover price of a tenner, you'll probably get about a tenner for them back. So that's my rule of thumb, as it were, picking these things up. I said there was a good bundle of them. There's another couple that weren't quite so good, and also I picked up, I've not even looked these ones up yet, so that was all guitar, and this is all piano, but it's more like beginner level learning pianos. So there's, scales, improve your sight reading part 2, improve your sight reading part 3, etc. So there's about 10 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 of them there. I'm guessing these are all going to be like kind of 2, 3, 4 quid books. So I'll maybe just put them up as one big bundle. 12 of them, 3 quid a pop. Maybe see if I can get £25–30 for the bundle for somebody who's looking to get in and learn. So yeah, those not so great, but the guitar ones were. So that's a win. And there's another couple of guitar ones that I've not done anything with yet. They're the lower value ones as well, so I'll just decide what's going on. A couple of big guitar books as well, right enough. We've got 101 songs for easy guitar. There you go. Big chunky book there. Is it Billy Joel, Stones, Santana, Boz Scaggs, Neil Young, Leo Sayer, AC/DC. Again, just well printed, clear music tablature, with all the wee guitar tabs on it as well. You shook me all night long. She was a fast machine, she kept her motor clean. She was the best damn woman that I've ever seen. We know the song. Cover price $18.95, so it's going to be still reasonable money on it. I think I've probably listed that for like 10–12 quid. So yeah, cover prices on these books, if it's good nick, you're going to stay close to it. So that's a wee rule of thumb to think of. It's not always, it's not an exact science, it's not always right, but it's still a good way of looking at it. And then we've got a wee lightweight guitar tab book. Look at that beast there. The Guitar Tab, Volume 2, the white pages. It's like 150 songs in there. And it's just... it's more of the same, but an awful lot of it. What have we got? Pearl Jam, Pod, You Found Glory, Free, Garbage, Jethro Tull, Jet, Heart, Gene Vincent, Jane's Addiction, Eagles, Scorpions, The Beatles, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Brooks and Dunn, Albert King, The Everly Brothers, Blondie, System of a Down, Jerry Reed, Coldplay, Kiss, Ozzy Osbourne, Robin Trower, Steely Dan, AC/DC, Manfred Mann, Firehose, Foreigner, The Police, BB King, Limp Bizkit, Aldo Nova, Sting, Steve Miller Band, Metallica, Jeff Beck, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Chet Atkins, The Vines, and a hell of a lot more. So that's a cracking book. It doesn't have a cover price on it that I could see, but it still looks to be kind of a £20. So I think I've gone a wee 25–30 quid actually maybe. I've gone a wee bit below that because somebody's been circling and ticking on the contents page. But other than that, it's really good condition. The spine ain't cracked or broken at all, because it's got a nice big lazy lay to it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't crack. It's just a well-made book for what it is, for what it's needed for. So yeah, that was another guitar book. So it's good, you go in, somebody's handed in a wee collection like that. You can grab it all And if you've got a few the same things going up at the same time, you might make a wee bit of money because somebody will go, oh, I'll have a couple of those. We'll wait and see. Let's say they're just listed. And it being eBay, it'll be a month before anyone even looks at them. But we'll see. So some other interesting, just normal hardcovers that, again, kind of a tenner. These books are all kind of a tenner. We've got On the Trail of Mary, Queen of Scots. Look to your consciences and remember that the theatre of the world is wider than that of the realm of England. Mary, Queen of Scots. It's always been a wee bit... I don't know, it never really seems to be in any of the histories, but there's a place in Glasgow. Any of you who are local to the south side of Glasgow will probably know Battlefield, right? Battlefield. And it's called Battlefield because I believe it was something to do with her, and they had a battle there in a field. So that area's called Battlefield because of wee Mary. I think I'm right on that. That's certainly what I've got in my head. I could be completely wrong and it's for something else. But there's a wee kind of castle-y thing as well, which is where she was within it. I never really see much in it. Where have we got? It's got all the chapter headings here, so this will maybe give us a wee clue. Battle, the Murder of Darnley, Carberry Hill. See, I never see it anywhere. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what it is all about. So yeah, Battlefield and the Lynn Park. That's just there. It's where we used to spend a lot of time when we were wee bairns, wee babbies, kicking about at the Lynn Park. So, just looking at the pictures now. So I don't know, I may have got that bit of history completely wrong and just confused the hell out of myself. But, you know, is what it is. So, it seems to be about a tenner. We got a wee signed by the author, Simon Scarrow, Rebellion. Not much to say about that. It's, I think, his latest book. Well, the latest one that's out in hardcover. Signed by the author, 2020... Is this a 2024? Oh no, this was 2023, so he must have another one since. But it'll sit for a while, but I'll maybe get a tenner for it as it goes. Annie Jacobson, Nuclear War, a Scenario. I see nice looking hardcovers that, I mean, I'll pick up the fiction ones, like the Simon Scarrow book. I would have picked that up whether it was signed or not, because it's a couple of quid if it's not. But these ones I'll pick up and I'll make sure I check, because sometimes, you know, they're not massive print runs. If people are looking for them, they don't find them too easily. It's a 2024 book, so it's pretty recent. Again, they may have held their value. So if you pick one up and it's right, it will have kept its cover price, or, you know, reasonably close to its cover price, because no bookshop sell these at cover prices anyway. So you'll still get the kind of Tesco Watterson's price for it. So about a tenner. Sejanus, Regent of Rome by John S. McHugh. There we go, another one. Similar deal. It's a history book. It won't have been a huge print run. It's really good condition, that always helps. 2020, so not brand new, but still fairly recent book. Cover price of 20 quid, so chances are you're still going to get between 8 and 12 for that book. It won't sell tomorrow, but, you know, you get the idea. Again, The Nazi Mind, 12 Warnings from History. Here we go. History books in good condition that are fairly recent. There we go, 2025. This is absolutely brand new. I didn't realise it was that recent, which means it's got a £25 cover price. It's going to keep that Watterson Tesco price at the moment if you've got it in, you know, such immaculate condition. So 10, 12, 15 pounds potentially for that little bad boy. And finally from that lot, Traitor's Odyssey, the untold story of Martha Dodd and a strange saga of Soviet espionage by Brendan McNally. So same idea, bit of history. It's got a bit of war stuff to it. It's in really good condition. It's another very recent book, 2024, cover price of 25 notes, so 8, 10, 12 pounds. It should sell for without taking too long. So, what have we got? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, about, I'm going to say about £120 worth from that lot there. And I paid 50 quid today for everything I picked up. So that 120 is going to be, if it does sell for 120, it's going to be about £70 profit. If it sells for 100, it's going to be 55, 60. So either way, once all of that's sold, it's covered my costs for the day. And that's not going to happen tomorrow. There's always time built into that, but it's always good knowing when you do that kind of pick up that you've got it covered with a few items, and then the rest is all, it's all the gravy. It's all the profit on top of it, which is peace of mind. If you don't find any, good stuff, steak and cake to go with your bread and butter, then that means you need to sell a lot of the bread and butter to make your money back. So if I've got, 100 odd books there and I need to sell them all for £1 each, I've got to sell half of them before I've made back my buy cost, which it's still good, but it's not great. But because I've got those on top of it, then it's fine. If everything I'd picked up today was just bread and butter instead of steak and cake, then I would have had to sell a third of it to get back the buy cost, which, to be honest, is not particularly difficult to do, but it just all is what it is. Right, that's everything that I thought was kind of a bit different and more interesting, apart from this one last little book, which you won't be able to see what it is, which is a shame, because this would have been absolutely gorgeous if it was still, if the leather wasn't worn. So we've got a wee quarter bound, it's not even quarter bound to be honest, probably fifth, leather spine, cloth face, leather corners, that's always good. Raised bands on the spine, there's a nice wee leather embossed plate, lots of the gold gilting on it, lots of lovely detail that you just will not be able to pick out in the camera probably, but it's all in there and it's embossed. And the bands, when you get a book this age, those bands are there because they're needed in the binding process. You get a lot of modern books where they stick those bands on and it's just a bit of raised leather or vinyl or whatever it is they've used, and it's there for design. But in the oldie days, that was an essential part of tying the whole thing together, which you can't actually see, unfortunately, because I hope there was a way of demonstrating it, but no, it's just because the spine is all split open. See, it really needs, I shouldn't do that because it's just going to fall off completely. It really does need quite a lot of love and care and attention to get it back to a good condition. It had marbled edging, which again, it's just so faded, you can really just make it out. Don't know if it's any clearer on the top. Gilt would have been nice, but it's just marbled. The cloth and the leather have actually kept quite good colour, but it's been worn. It's a book that has been used, which is again a good sign. What is the book? That's what you keep asking. I can hear you shouting at Ian, man, what's that book? What's that book, man? Show us that book. What's that book you've got there? It is, as I said earlier on, it's a pretty common title, especially up in Ayrshire. We see a lot of these. Recognise him? So it is The Works of Robert Burns, Volume 1. Common book. This particular edition is from 1861, and it's Blackie and Son, Glasgow, Edinburgh and London that what did print it. So 1861, MD CCC, that's 18, L is 50, X is 10 and I is 1, so I'm pretty sure that's 1861. So this came in 2 volumes. I was really hoping the second volume would be there, but it wasn't. It was only this first volume. There's no foxing or anything on the pages. I mean, the pages themselves are pretty, I'm saying that and then I found a tiny wee bit of foxing on the page that I turned to. But yeah, the pages are really pretty clean. It's just that well-used binder on the outside, which is gone. And that's, I mean, like, 1861. I mean, what was going on in the world in 1861? It's kind of hard to perceive of that time gone. My great auntie, when I was a wee boy, she used to tell us stories about the First World War. She was born in 1897, Auntie Margie, and we would get projects at school. I remember we had one in primary 7, and it was to do with the Edwardian times. So I interviewed her for that wee project, and she just had, I can't remember much of what she told me now, it's a shame, but obviously 1897, that was her era, those Edwardian years, and it was a different world, man. It really, really was. But that's 30 odd years after, a generation later even than this. So kind of trying to comprehend what's going on back at that point is crazy. And furthermore, this book was popular then. There was umpteen editions getting churned out all the time, right through the 1800s, and that's still the same today. So 170 odd years later, and this book is still in regular print and is known the world over. And this is it's not one of the originals. Burns was a wee bit before that. Not a lot, right enough, but it was a wee bit before that. But it's still going. Although I think these days he would be banged up in the jail. He would have been cancelled umpteen times over. I don't think he would have fitted in with, people. They don't buy. There's writers out there. People won't go near them because of, their history, their past. Actors, all sorts, who have done things which they should not have done, and are now properly cancelled. And I just get the feeling of the likes of Burns, and probably quite a few of his other contemporaries and those not too far away, were doing what they did now, they would not be looked upon too favourably. But there it is, The Complete Works of Robert Burns, Volume 1 from 1861. Exteriorly in atrocious condition, but I still quite like it. I used to be a bookbinder for a short period of time, and I'm looking at this and I'm kind of tempted to maybe just go in and do a wee bit of something with the end papers just to hold it all together. I don't think I'll try and repair the leather, because that's too much of a job for me. It would mean lifting it and doing all sorts of things, basically replacing those boards. But I might try and do something to make it a bit more intact, and I think I'll just keep that one. Potentially it could sell for a tenner, it could sell for £20-25. It's not worth any more than that. There's much better condition editions from around the same time, earlier. You can go back to the 1820s, you'll find a book for not an awful lot more than £25-30 in better condition. So yeah, that'd be that. But yeah, I just thought I would share that one. I saw it and thought, oh, that could be something. To be honest, 20 quid's not bad for such a cheap pickup. But it's just a lovely book. Leather books, there's something nice about old leather. So I'll maybe just keep this for myself, see what I can do with it over the time. And that's it. So yeah, ending on Burns. I'm in Ayrshire, so he is a local lad. Now, spent a few years in Dumfries. I've kind of followed the dude about. But that's us. So yes, we've managed to get a video today. It's now about 8:30. So this might be out by 10 o'clock, but it will make it in today. So it means I've only missed one day, and I'm probably going to be struggling tomorrow as well. I need to get everything done in the morning and be out for 11. Like I say, I've taken on a few different bits and pieces, and now my son is shouting us, so I'm just going to stop doing this now and go and see what he wants. But I shall see you all tomorrow. Alright, cheers guys, bye bye. Click.